Thank you so much. Thank you. No, you raised really some very valid points, especially, lack of information, where I think so we all would agree that it's not only on the prospective immigrant side, but it is lot many on the, government agency side also. We are not kind of aware, and there is of all the strengths, rules, regulations, loopholes, and strengths which we have, out there. So that, of course, is there. I think so we need, it's a different thing. We have to also train our people who are handling immigration issues or whatever. There should be a refresher course or something. Yes, the challenges, Bihar has, your state has huge challenges, and regarding not only information but documentation collection and all. And I'm sure there would be other states also who would be going through these kind of challenges, if not at that level, but yet. And then there are prospective immigrants, and there are dreams for people to go abroad from erstwhile states where there was only internal migration, I would say, and not so much external, out of country migration. But now we find, yes, people are trying to go out, and there are many agents who are working, out there. And unfortunately, you said there are many who have opened completely commercial shops, where they do, where they do people who have these aspirations. So thank you for your very informative and giving us grassroots problems of states, particularly states similar to Bihar, where governments are still struggling to have some infrastructure in place to send, have a migration, have some infrastructure of felicitating, I would say, legal migration, and where our officers are struggling, but they're bringing it to our notice. I'm sure this will be a very fruitful session. Now I'd open it for question. I think so everybody is waiting for lunch, but I'll take 5 more minutes or so, 5 or 10 somebody might be having, because it was a very, very important session. States came out with their not only challenges but also how they're grappling with it. So I'll open the session for Q&A, please.
Okay.
Yes, please.
I'm Sita, and I just have 2 points actually. One is for Dr. Kaura and Madam Kumudini. It is the role of the diaspora actually. I've heard a lot of your work, but I haven't heard the part of actually looking into the diaspora, and that might be something for you to think of. So it's just a comment, it's not really a question. Just for the future, I mean, obviously Norca does a lot, but some of the other states I hear are obviously perhaps not doing enough. For one point that you've raised, which has been very close to my heart for a long time, is the GAMCA. For a short time, Philippines did not have to go through the GAMCA. And this is something I really think India should advocate for. A lot of people from the Gulf come here for medical, all kinds of treatments. So obviously they do think that India has the capacities and the capability for good medical services. So India needs to, it's not going to be easy, but it's not impossible also, because I tried looking at the possibility of this, but to actually look at not going through the GAMCA for Indian workers. So that's something to work on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, Philippines has a very good model for their labor migration. They have excellent agreements and everything, and so we need to emulate a lot from Philippines. And especially GAMCA, rather than they accrediting, because my groundwork experience has been that they accredit not such good institutions also. So we could have an understanding that probably NABH accredited, or some parameters could be set, and those could be accepted as genuine ones. Thank you.
See, Philippines, I would say Philippines has, their whole policy or whatever. It works on really sending out their people for, work or whatever. Then it's the whole gamut is different. They encourage, as a policy, they encourage migration. They give, they give their people, they want their people to go out, work, and send remittances, and also they have a more, I think, sophisticated and well-tuned in structure or so. Well, I think so. I cannot comment on that, where, GOI, I don't think so. Still, we kind of really encourage that way, like Philippines does or whatever. You're not in that game or whatever. But yes, we have to work a lot in terms of aspirations of people when they want to go abroad, and how they should be safe, orderly, and they should get, they should get their due, for that. So we will be working with that. Yes, you want to ask?
Yeah, I just, I'm Idaya Rajan. I just wanted to add, you were talking about back for all the things, visas and other things. I have seen back Indian passports. So even passports are, we have fake passports. So with the head changed in India. And we also have embassies. In fact, in Kerala, we should talk about Kasaragod embassy. You can get visas, you can, there's an officer, like your POE office, like everything is done there. Because Kasaragod embassy is very known in Kerala. So, there are things. And also this, I think when we talk about migrants, I think we are forgetting something very important is, see, visit visa. It will continue, you like it or not. I think, because what people tell me when you go to Gulf, sir, when you send your own son, who is from village, go and spend a month in Mumbai, and try to get a job. This is what, sir, we are doing. Why you are criticizing us? So I think we should look for a way to facilitate them for a future migration, because we send our own children to Delhi, Mumbai. Spend a week, you have a cousin, go stay there, look for a job, attend an interview. So, you can't tell visit visa will continue. Even the, the flights who came by the Vande Bharat flights, half of them are visit visas accompanying, undocumented. So I think we have to work with them. I think still we are working without understanding their interest. I think we have to get into the migrant shoes. I don't think we are doing it still. With many policies, we are all talking about, we have to talk to the migrants what they want. I don't think we are not talking to any migrants, and we are not talking to migrant surveys, migrant organizations. We are thinking it is good for you. I think it is good for you. We have to change. We have to think what is good for them. They want to leave. I think the Punjabi person correctly said, they want to leave. So if you don't facilitate, they will leave. You like it or not, they will be there.
Yes.
I think that is, you have to, because what happened, there was a lady who had problem in Kerala, and the government of Kerala came to know about this. The secretary went from Kerala to Gulf to pick her up. She was in trouble. She came back. When the Narke wanted to do something, they said, let us take her model. So they went to check for her. She already went back there. It happened in Kerala. So, so I think Kerala people are leaving. I think migration will continue. So we have to facilitate them. Facilitate migrants, not migration. We have to facilitate migrants. I want to stop
One
here.
of the points which we have been discussing within our system also, sir, that the people who have gone visit visa, and once they get their visit visa converted into employment visa, so we should have that opportunity to grant them emigration clearance or register themselves at that point of time also, because it is perfectly legal to go for job interviews on a visit visa to all these countries. So probably a sort of a ex post long-term visa registration can be introduced in our system, which is not there currently. So if a person has already gone there and has an employment visa, he cannot apply for Pravasiya Bharatiya Bima Yojana, because you require an Indian number to get that OTP. So you will not get, you will not be allowed to apply for PBVI if you are already there. So we need to tweak these systems that any number at any point of time people can apply for PBVI.
I just want to add here about interstate migration. We approach government of UP and government of Bihar, because our Ludhiana industry was very keen that we should retain our labor, because they train them, make them skill, and the moment they go back, they don't return back. And then our Ludhiana industry promised about 10,000 jobs, to a skilled workforce from UP, and we went to UP government for signing an agreement. Let's sign an agreement. We need this kind of labor. You have a skill mission there, you prepare. Our industry is going to give them jobs. And second, what we said, the problem which we were facing was civic amenities. We have got a lot of labor from Bihar and UP to Ludhiana, but we don't have proper housing for them. So we propose another area to the governments that we will give you a land, you come and set up the working hostels for them so that they can have a comfortable life. So this kind of interstate migration, we should have kind of again agreement between state to state. And Punjab, since I am representing today, so we offered today to the Bihar government and the government of UP, let us sign an agreement and we share with you what kind of people we need, and you prepare them, and so that we can provide them the proper jobs. Regarding diaspora, I just want to mention here, we are very much focusing on the diaspora. I couldn't give you the statistic there, but just example, we have just now set up a skill university in Punjab, 1630 crore investment by one NRI from UK came, and he has set up I met one of the NRI doctor in London. He said, give me Jalandhar district. I can adopt the whole Jalandhar district. So diaspora is very keen, and yes, we need to do a lot to support them. But yes, I think that is very important side.
Are there more questions? Okay, yeah, sure. I mean, I would request you, because everybody is waiting, to be quick and just address your question to whosoever you are doing. And yes, please.
Sure. Thank you, ma'am.
And your name, please.
Amish Karki with the International Labour Organization. Very quick comment to Sandeep, sir. So you did mention about recruitment cost, about 66 lakhs in nurse pays to go to a country of destination. We have always propagated for no cost for migrant workers. We have always talked about fair migration, fair recruitment processes. And how can we generate this? How can we work towards a fair recruitment process? If someone would to offer me a position, if the ILO would to come to me and say you have to pay 1 day of fee to get your job, I would not do that. Why so a migrant worker? So you did talk about minimizing the migration cost for the migrant workers, but the ultimate objective for our government should be towards no cost fee for migrant workers. So that's one of the points I wanted to make. Of course, the ILO has general principles and operation guidelines, which talks about who should pay these costs. So this is, again, discussed, adopted by the government's employers and the workers. So I would like the government to consider that these documents, and it again relates with GCM Objective 6 as well, to ensure fair and ethical recruitment. The other issue that I just wanted to very quickly touch upon is on reintegration. Obviously, Mr. Ajit talked about reintegration being one of the key components of NOCRA and the Kerala government. We did hear about Rani Madam talk about social and psychosocial support for reintegration. However, we see there is some state-level interventions on reintegration, but not a comprehensive level at the national level in India. Now, we have seen after COVID, reintegration has become a agenda key priority for a number of governments in the region. For Sri Lanka, they have a reintegration migration policy. For Bangladesh, is at the moment developing and will be adopting one in May. Nepal is in the process. For India, I think there is it is absolute time to adopt a national level reintegration policy and take leadership at the region in terms of ensuring there is reintegration national policy level at the national level itself, and to integrate the state level activities that's already been happening. Over from my side, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. And your point has been noted.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Chair. My name is Neha. I work with the ILO. I'm going to keep this extremely short. I just wanted to check, in relation to this fantastic platform that's been created by the Government of India, which is called eShram. Are there any efforts at the state level to really see if these workers can be linked? And this is just taking off from your point, Madam Tavishi, where you're saying that if a person doesn't have a mobile number that is Indian, you can't access certain insurance schemes. So are there any efforts to, or are there any future plans targeted at linking some of these systems, and how international migrant workers could also benefit from such platforms? Thank you.
You want to say something? Okay. Yeah, please.
Actually, about this, ma'am, we are working to integrate the IT portals of eShram and National Career Service (NCS) and ASHIM from National Skill Development Corporation, including the Swadesh is one more portal, SWADESH. So basically all these portals, they try to integrate the information on supply side and as well as on the demand side. So through this portal, once it comes to the advanced stage of functionality, we will be able to disseminate information instantly across the country. And they are totally artificial intelligence driven. The vacancy it creates, it searches, it does many things. It is one of the latest of the technologies which will be coming through. Using that, we can do that in the time to come. And through that, we can, all this information can be circulated, disseminated to different parts of the country. I think it's clear. Ma'am, along with this, just one point I want to mention, it is linked with ILO and with our system as well. We can think in future as well. The main problem which I have experienced, including the issues what you are saying, is that information asymmetry, gross level of information asymmetry by foreign employers,
Yes,
by anyone. Ma'am, if I have seen some of the recent examples in which they transfer the vacancies to us, and the moment we try to link up on the supply side, The students ask us, what exactly is my job role there? What exactly is my trade? What is that exact thing which I have to deliver and perform? In that, there is total blankness. There is not much clarity, not much information, and that is the origination of all these problems. Once we know that, okay, the guy is not properly trained as per the skill and subject and trade and occupation, attrition will improve. They will go in the wrong paths to enter into those things, and we start duplicating the thing. Before the original takes over, duplicate starts because of these regions. So if we can make the information portals, vacancy information portals very transparent between states and global agencies, that transparency is the key thing which is holding. Otherwise, we'll be trading with the informations, and that is something which is hampering everyone. So that is the most important thing, ma'am, it can be done. And second thing, in our context, Indian context, in one of the form which I saw in respect of Japan, a guy, I was just seeing the 34-page contract document he was supposed to sign, those who are going there. I just went to that, in that the medical things, everything was mentioned in that. So I just asked the Japanese officials here, you have not mentioned which agency he has to sign and all the details, because this guy may not be knowing everything. So now we have to see that on the date on which he does the medical testing certificate, this, that, all the regulatory issues, if it can be given to the RPO kind of thing in local languages. Even what I could see if in respect Japanese, but in that language, we could translate those things into Tamil and other languages, especially for SSW program. But we need to have some kind of internal mechanism, especially in our country, where we should be instantly able to convert all this into local languages. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Brahma, would you like to react to this? Anything, any comment from your side?
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Actually, I think, we had very detailed discussion, and, we also got as a PG, I am actually crowdsourcing new ideas. So thank you, Tavisi, and thank you, Goventhan, for those ideas. Please send me your more concrete ideas, so, we can work on it. And we have a very impressive mechanism in Tamil Nadu, Telangana, and of course Kerala. And for Punjab, basically, thank you very much for your good presentation, and it was a kind of eye-opener. Only one suggestion which I can make here is that normally, for Norca routes and Telangana also, we are aware, like, what they are going, GTG agreement with which country they are talking. But this I can't say for Punjab. I am not aware of anything what Punjab is doing. So, there was a comment from ILO, okay, that why a job seeker should pay. Of course, job seeker cannot pay. So illegal activities starts actually at that point when a migrant worker is asked, okay, pay for air ticket, pay for visa. So we have to make it loud and clear that if you are going out, your tickets and visa are being arranged by your employer. So only one line message is very clear. So this is what I want to suggest, and this is where actually I am also trying to work with Ministry of Labor and Employment, Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, NSDC, and this is where we need to integrate our portals so that all portals can talk to each other. The suggestion which I feel is that once someone enters their passport number in any portal, it should come to e-migrate portal immediately. So I think, means it will ease our job like anything, whether it is Punjab government, Telangana government, or any government. In your state government portal, once passport number is entered, then let it become our responsibility. And as a state government, I think, we must encourage all state government to have more foreign exposure, talk to, more countries. But whatever you do, keep us informed, keep Indian embassy of that country or, CG of that country informed, that's it. So that at least we can also, make some suggestions how to make it more workable, more people-centric, and more migrant worker oriented, and so that we can take care of, diaspora welfare. So thank you very much.
All our agreements are, we just wanted to add, all agreements are with the approval of the NPM. So we signed with the government of Alberta, and after obtaining approval from ME, then only Chief Minister, allowed them to sign. So all our agreements are there. Maybe we will share the copy with you. And as far as cost is concerned, there is no cost for going by air or other things. When I say cost, it was the cost of skilling. A student go there, a student, he pay 50 lakh there. What we say that he need not to pay anything, he'll first get skills here. Only a skill training cost is there. The rest no cost is there.
I
So they
think
are
so
not
when
paying.
you're talking about, when he was talking about cost, Major, you have to understand what kind of migration happens from Punjab, So
That is
basically,
again
I think that when he's talking about, migration from Punjab, you find many Punjabis, and especially from Doaba and now other areas or whatever, they sell their land, they do everything, they get into this just to kind of get either admission in some actual institution, even in some fake institutions. The whole point is the psychology of the person is so this thing just to leave and get abroad. So perhaps when they are talking, as I understand, that is why I didn't make any comment, that when they're talking about reducing the cost of in terms of when you're going as a student, so sometimes they pay very high fee which is not kind of required or whatever, or maybe that's what they're
That is
seeing,
what, yes,
that is
that's
for to an institution or even to a skilling institute, whether within the district or within the state or outside the state or whatever they're talking about. There is, to become of the level of to be able to skill at the level where you can migrate and have a proper employment, but you have to get that skill set. So I think so what he's talking about is that skilling cost or that education cost which the student or prospective immigrant pays, so they're trying to reduce that.
That's a skilling cost.
So I think so that's what he's talking about, and perhaps he's not talking about the cost of unscrupulous cost or or that cost of whatever which one has to. So therefore I would say that this has been a very very interesting and very collaborative sort of discussion, deliberations, and various states have put in their what their main own challenges are. Some are across the board, and other states would also kind of find resonance in that and how they are tackling it. Of course, some states have a very well developed, you can say, migration or helping migrants on those platforms and integrating them back. Some states are still working on it or struggling. So, before many suggestions were raised or whatever, before I close, it has been a very, very interesting and educative session, I would say. But before I close or whatever, I would still want, Dr. Surbi, if she would want to kind of just quick, comment or so, she would want to reflect, because after all, this forum has been for ICM, for all of us to get some insights into things and how, and there have been some comments which have come or whatever. So how would you react to them or whatever, and how do you see?
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to share my thoughts, ma'am. Just that I would like to say that one of the primary reasons that why we organize this consultation and why we were keen to have states was precisely for this reason, for this exchange of ideas between what we do here and what states are doing at the ground level. And this exchange of ideas and information is very relevant so that we adopt a comprehensive approach. And ICM, since it develops a lot of resource material which actually goes at the ground level for awareness generation, I think it's very important that we are in tune with what states are doing. And at that level, this session has been really very informative. And some of the suggestions which were made during the panel, we have kept track of that. And we can promise that we will take them up. GAMCA is something that we already do as part of PDOT training. It's part of the new updated PDOT manual. So we've already taken action on that. So there will be a separate module on GAMCA. But we can certainly talk to you more beyond this
Like for
forum.
Singapore, it is not required to do any medical tests over here. They are tested in Singapore only. But you ask any immigrant going to Singapore, they are charged at least 10,000 rupees. To
No,
get
that
a
is true.
medical
That's what we are saying. That's
Yeah.
where this exchange of information and ideas was very, very crucial. And then to that end, we thought that this was a very, very stimulating session. And we look forward to engaging even beyond this consultation with everyone present. Thank you.
So I thank you, Dr. Subi, and I thank all the panelists. I think so this panel has taken much of your time. We've eaten into your lunch time, but it has been such a rewarding kind of discussion. And of course, there might be some more, as a corollary to what has been said, might be coming, which we can informally, I think so, share our views or thoughts over the lunch and later, because otherwise we'll be really kind of going really beyond even lunchtime. Okay, thank you so much once again, and I also thank you all, especially ICM for giving me this opportunity to kind of sit over here, listen to such wonderful views, and it has reminded, though right now I might not be kind of dealing with directly with migration, but over the years I've had my different exposure to it and issues of our migrants, especially more so in Australia and even in Cambodia. I was really surprised that people want to migrate so desperately that even they go to countries where development and opportunities are much less than one would think in the subcontinent, but they go to Cambodia and both semi-skilled and highly skilled also, for looking for better opportunities. And this is before COVID. So anyway, this food for thought that, yes, rightly said, that migration, no matter what we might say or whatever may be the government policy, of course, not to as rightly said, not to really encourage or this thing migration, but yes, facilitate in terms of migrants and take their well-being much into consideration and find solutions to that. There will be migration. There has been migration for over years, and governments and we all should see that our migrants get their due. If they're moving out, they should be safe, orderly, and they should be legally migrating out. Thank you, so that the experience is good for everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your words, ma'am. I would like to request you all to